Hello Pisces friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Pisces July 2022 Astrology Must-Knows Horoscope Forecast. If you want to have even more information on how to rock this month and all of the upcoming transits, you can go to anniehelpsyou.com to see more of my resources. And if you forget that address by the time we're done here, you can look in the notes at the bottom of the video or the podcast. On YouTube, you just click on the little more button in the bottom right to reveal the notes and you'll see the links there. This is for you if Pisces is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or if you're an astrology zealot and you go deeper and watch for other placements, any of your Pisces placements, this is going to be information that is relevant for you. If you are a late degree Pisces, so like a very late degree, so we'll say like 23 degrees to the rest of the sign, so like around March 13th through the rest of the sign, I also suggest that you watch Aries reports, okay? Because I will cover you in this Pisces report, and if there's something different for you, I will note it. But everything for you will be relevant in the Pisces report, but you're also likely to pick up additional pieces if you're a late degree placement in the Aries report, okay? So both will be beneficial for you. So what do we have going on this month? There are so many things to share as usual, and we're going to go through them piece by piece to help you have the best month possible by being prepared for the astrological weather. The first big must know is that we are finally out of eclipse season. I am sure for many of you it was a very intense time. A little bit of March, April, May, into June, we had a major eclipse season, and now in July and August, we're at that little break, that little integration period between the eclipse cycles. Partway through September, we'll get into that last eclipse season of the year, which will run from part of September, all of October, November, and even into December. So here we are in July and also in August where we've got a little break. So that is something to celebrate. The next big must know is that we have an abundance of planetary connections this month. There are at least 10 more connections that I'm talking about that compared to the previous month. And so it's really busy. The skies are going to be really busy with lots of connections. And although we do have, for the first time in a few months, more salty connections compared to the sweet ones, we definitely have an abundance of sweet connections as well. Okay, so the way that I'm really feeling about this month, the picture that came into my mind is like you're running for your prize and people are pelting tomatoes at you while you're trying to get there. So it's like you're having to dodge vegetables. You can tell that I watch a lot of old shows that take place in times when people used to throw vegetables at people. But in any case, this is the image that goes through my mind. So it's like there's a prize at the end. You're happy, you're glowing, you're running towards it, and you've got these things you have to get through, annoying bumps with these little challenges along the way to get there. But you will get there, and there are lots of goodies for sure. Okay, so the next big must know is that we are still in this beautiful last open period free from personal planet retrogrades for the year. So June 19th opened this period up. It runs all through the rest of June, all of July, and through August 21st. After that, we start to descend into Mercury and then Mars retrograde, which those retrograde energies will take over the rest of 2022. Now, retrogrades aren't things to fear. They're not things, that you have to be anxious about. They're just different energies. I have so many resources on retrogrades. If you just search for Annie Botticelli retrogrades, you'll find all kinds of things. And we'll talk about that when we're back in that energy. But what we need to know now is that not being in the retrograde energy and only having this small window until we're kind of in it for a long time, you want to do your big decisions, if you can help it, your big launches, your big plans, the things that need more clarity, more oomph. If you're trying to launch something very long term, into like a book launch or a big commitment, weddings, anything like that, you've got this beautiful energy, and July is completely open for this type of thing. And although you do have the tomatoes pelting here and there, there's definitely a lot of beautiful energy And the most important thing is that the tides are flowing out. So I always like to help you understand the energies of the tides flowing out versus the tides flowing in. When we have the personal planet retrogrades, the tides are coming in, and that's a time to go in closer, inward, backward, keep things closer to your energy field, not try to push things out too far. But when we're in an open launch period, it's the time to set your boat afloat, to get it out to the open sea and help it go far and wide. So anything that you want to go far and wide, this is a really great month for things like that. Okay, so let's see. So we start the month out with a very stressful aspect. We may as well get the yuck out of the way so we can talk about the better things, but it is definitely something that you need to know. Mars, the god of war, is connecting in a square, a point of conflict, with the power planet Pluto, the ruler of life, death, birth, rebirth, transformation, depth, emotional experiences. And so we've got a conflict of those right there at the beginning of the month. And that can last, to the first 5 days, 6 days, even into the first week where these points of conflict are. Okay, so you will be feeling that. And particularly for Pisces, you're going to see that in the money sector. Okay, so Mars is still bringing you ambition, bringing you motivation, bringing you momentum to improve your finances. But right there at the beginning of the month, there's a point of conflict. We could even call it a crisis, a point of financial crisis. Now, sometimes squares operate in a way where there's not a crisis, where there's just an opportunity that will take a lot of work, so you have to do work to get to the gold. So it's not a definite that this is going to be a challenge, but what it will be either way is a lot of work. And whether the work is coming through getting through a conflict, or whether the work is getting through taking advantage of an opportunity that you now have to bust your butt for, and have a timeline or a deadline or something like that hanging over you, then you will feel that point of conflict. But it can break things free in your money sector. It can help you open up employment and work and career opportunities. It can expand your networking options. And you might find that the conflict comes through a friendship group or a team, or, some kind of people who you felt connected to or felt like-minded with. And you might have a point of conflict where you have to really ask yourself, how much are you in alignment with these people or this organization? And, what are you willing to do to get through the conflict? Or is it just non-negotiable that you're going to move on from it? So it's definitely, something notable that you're going to notice it, okay? But you still have that beautiful energy of Mars moving through the sign of Aries, moving through your second house. So if you have to do something in your financial arena, or even along the lines of sustainability, like if you're trying to, have a lighter imprint or get your home situation to be more sustainable, you'll have a lot of energy along those lines. Okay, so the next big must know is that we've got a super moon on July 13th, at the days around July 13th. Okay, so a super moon is when the moon is actually closer to the earth, and you can see it looks bigger generally, and it can be a lot more emotional. Now, this is an earth moon. This is at 21 degrees of Capricorn, and you'll feel this, even in the week up until, so we'll say like starting around July 6th, building up until the 13th, and, for the week afterwards, there's extra energy when there's a supermoon. So the length of time that you start feeling this moon is going to be expanded. The emotions can run higher, but because it's an earth moon, you might also have some objectivity there, or some, great productivity there, and the capacity to manage the extra emotions that might be coming from the earth's, the earth having the gravitational pull from the moon, and all the water things on the earth, including us, are feeling that closeness of that full moon. It might bring water where it shouldn't be. So if you're in a place like I am, like where there's a lot of water, and we will be in hurricane season then. So if you have any loose ends for taking precautions with your water types of things, you'll want to get those out of the way before this time, so that, in the event that water goes where it shouldn't be, that you're better prepared. But that water can be representative of emotions, okay? And these emotions can come in any topic, but again, they're going to be centered around this like friendship sector, online based projects. For Pisces, this energy will be in this area. It could have something to do with a group or an organization that you're working with. And it could be like you're getting your website up, or you're getting something, for a community project launched, and that's also a business, or that is going to be sustainable by earning money. So the points where Capricorn is involved with systems, building systems, and, things involving discipline and authority figures and leadership and those kind of things. You'll see all of those energies coming up at this time. And if you've got to launch a project, this could be really, really great energy. Now, remember, the tomatoes are still going to be pelted throughout the month. This is the visual I'm getting, where everything we're trying to do, we're having like stuff thrown at us to deal with. But I really, really love this time for accomplishments and for material gains or seed planting. Even though it's a full moon and a super moon, it doesn't mean you can't plant seeds for the new things while the old things are coming to fruition, because full moons bring things to fruition, completion. They bring drama. They bring things that were under the surface out into the open, and that will be doubly so because of the super moon. But it is also a time where, as things come to a head, you can see more clearly the things that you want to change, so you can plant the seeds for those, and you can see more clearly the kinds of things that have to be dealt with that maybe were undercover, that were not getting your attention. So we'll see that in the middle of the month. The next big must-know is that we do have a lot of Cancer energy, and this is wonderful for Pisces because it makes that beautiful trine for Pisces placements. So we have the Sun, we've got, we even have Black Moon Lilith, we've got Ceres there. We're going to have, more energy moving through as it goes on. We've got Mercury and Venus will all be going through Cancer. So we've got star goddesses abounding in this sign. We've got a lot of beautiful, soft, intuitive, connections, and this can be amazing for Pisces. So this is in your sector of creativity and creative projects. So if you have an art project or some sort of, even like acting or something that puts your gifts out into where they can be seen, this is an amazing month for that. First of all, because we've got the open window, we've got Mars helping to motivate you with your finances and possibly bringing in some extra income. We've got opportunities for your creative efforts to come out, to be seen by more people. We've got chances for your intuition to shine supreme and for you to get messages and understandings about things that can really help you to piece together a jigsaw puzzle that might have been plaguing you. Okay, so there's a ton of beautiful energy there. And there's also a lot of energy for connecting with your family, connecting with children, things with real estate and housing, projects for your house, things like that. There's a lot of beautiful energy for sprucing up, doing repairs, even if you've got to do a big project, like, you're building a new home, or you're buying a new home, or you're selling a home. This month is amazing for all of that. If you're doing a home, like a new project that requires architects to draw up things and you're doing a redesign or a remodel, this is also one of the best months of the year for that type of thing. So, because things will start to slow down when Mars gets going with its retrograde flow as we get into September. So if you're, I don't know if you've ever had any projects done before, but I know that I have. And Mars retrograde is going to make it a little harder for your workers to show up. So any progress that you can make in July and August along the home front is going to be really, really positive, okay, and really good for launching what you're trying to do. So another big must-know is that we still do have some strong Gemini energy, and this is, a little pressure point for Pisces. So you might be getting confused about some things. You might have to pick between, some things. And these, the types of energies these are soft decisions. That conflict at the beginning of the month, that might be like a big decision, like kind of a life-changing one, or, something, that carries a lot of weight. But the energies that are coming from this Gemini energy might show like a bunch of little decisions where you can't decide, but the stakes aren't as high, but you're kind of feeling like, okay, I need to do something, and being kind of wrapped up in all of the different options, because Pisces energy is mutable. It goes in a spiral. Gemini energy is mutable. It goes in a spiral. So whenever you have spiraling energy in the stars, it's accentuating your spiraling energy. So it could cast some doubt or some questions on some things. And this may have to do with social connections, friendships, transportation, communication, writing projects, or it could have to do with home, housing, or, things having to do with your house also, or your living situation. So there's a lot of energy coming up through the sign of Cancer, which rules the fourth house, and then the movements of the Gemini placements through the fourth house, where home and family and housing and home-based business are going to be coming up in a big way. But because this is such a nice open time, this is a good time to make decisions, and this is a good time to even try things on, maybe do some experimenting in July and then make your bigger decisions in August while you still have the window, but doing something is going to be important because action is being requested of you from the universe, and it will be good for you to comply. So the next big must know is that we are also going to have energies moving into Leo, and that's towards the end of the month. Now this again puts a little bit of an awkward angle for Pisces, but there's nothing to fear. Whenever I see a fire energy connect with the water energy, your water energy, it's like putting the heat underneath a boiling pot, right? So it adds this motivation, this zest, this reason to act, this reason to take impetus. And this can bring this in any area of your life, but especially the areas that will be bubbling up to focus on are things with your health, stress management. This is a really great time for tests and diagnostics because we've got that nice clear energy without the retrogrades. Anything that you have to do to try to make your health better, to try to help your emotional and mental space, all of those things are very well supported right now. Finding practitioners, if you're looking for a forever home for an animal, for you to be their forever, caretaker, then this is an amazing time for that too. Anything involving animals has a massive amount of support at this time. Or some of your pets might need attention. Let's see. Getting reorganized and restructured with your systems is also going to be an opportunity of this time. And anything else that has to do with like clearing out your space and clearing out the way you get things done. If you tend to procrastinate, this is going to be a time where you can make some headway to clear out the things that are giving you excuses to procrastinate so that you can take action and be very productive. As the energies from Mars in Aries ground out into Mars in Taurus, this is going to be very beneficial for you. And I love that this is happening during the open window without the personal planet retrogrades, because things that you might have been getting, I'd like to say, froggy about, you know what I mean? Then as Mars grounds into Taurus, you might start having more, discipline to put into place some long-term actions that you can get into building more habits with that can really positively affect your life. There's something that I always like to mention when I see energies like this, and it has to do with Timothy Ferriss, who is an author and a speaker. He's written many books, but one of the books he wrote is called The 4-Hour Workweek. And that book really impacted my life. I'll talk about it periodically, but one of the things that he said to help people trim down the amount of work they have to do, whether that is at the office or with your stuff for your home responsibilities, if you write down the things, narrow down the things that you know will make the most effect, like those big things, usually the ones you're avoiding doing and doing all those other piddly things to avoid, if you write those down and you put them on your list and you do them first, then even if you don't do much else, you're still really making an impact on the things that have to be done. So this is a period of time where you can implement something like that, where it will be very fruitful for you to build new habits of getting the important things done so that you can have more time to flow with your creative space, to, do the things that Pisces energies love to do, which is, just be present emotionally and kind of tune into your emotions and other people's emotions. And sometimes that tendency can interfere with productivity because you're constantly feeling what everybody's feeling. You're constantly wanting to help them feel better. You're constantly managing your emotions. And so sometimes, that can interfere with things that you're trying to do. But if you take the advice that I just gave you, this can be one way that you can be more productive, and then you have more time to do the things that, you really want to be doing. Okay, so the last big must know is that Jupiter is going to go into retrograde, and that's going to happen July 28th, and that will be from then until November 23rd. When Jupiter goes into retrograde, sometimes the big projects that we're working on, and for you, again, the financial sector is highlighted, savings, budgeting, income, businesses, individual sustainability, gardening projects, things that you do with your hands, anything like that where you're trying to get your sustainability going on any level. This kind of stuff you might see starting to turn into the backdrop. Okay, so if things seem to be outwardly expanding in that area, then you might feel like there's a slowdown, or you might feel like, wow, what happened to Jupiter? Where's Jupiter going? Well, Jupiter's now working more on the inner layers, the emotional layers, the things in the behind the scenes area. So I just wanted to mention it because there are going to be things in your life, and not just in your finances, could be other things, that all of a sudden will just be cooling down. And you're wondering what the heck is going on. And there's a very good chance that it is because Jupiter is going backwards. But don't worry, the blessings are still there. You just might have to look a little harder to find them. And the expansion is still working. It's just working in a way that might be lesser seen. And then when it goes direct again in November, then all of the structural work that was done by kind of turning everything in and closer will then be able to expand again in very big ways. So overall, just a very astrologically busy month. We've got a lot of sweet aspects. Definitely one more big must know is mark on your calendar the days around July 17th. This is when we have this beautiful water trine with Mercury and Neptune. And this is, anything happening in water is going to especially affect you. So your chances for getting blessings are even more increased. And all Pisces placement have a chance to have these goodies. But those of you who are closer to 25 degrees, so we'll say like 20 degrees to 29 degrees, so basically all the late degree Pisces people. So March 10th through the rest of the sign, and the closer you are to March 15th, the more you'll get extra sweet goodies from this beautiful Mercury-Neptune transit. But remember, all of you have the magic available to you. You might have a sudden insight or a sudden psychological breakthrough or a sudden path that can get you out of something you felt trapped in, or sudden peace on a topic that was really plaguing you, or sudden healing. So it's really magical, and hopefully there, right after that time where that full moon is happening that we talked about before, you'll be really feeling these beautiful energies. Okay, so I've given you lots to work with to help you make the most of the energies this month and to help you understand the energetic patterns at work and play. And if you'd like more resources, I've got all of these here. You can additionally go to the little more button, the little arrow underneath the bottom right of the video. Click on that, and all of the links that I'm giving you here will be clickable, right? So if you're looking for reading options, including a beautiful, very detailed 45-minute audio of your birth chart for $33 from my brilliant husband, you can find that at anniebclarity.com. You can go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. This is where you can access running a free birth chart. This is where you access my 28-day in-depth virtual coaching program called Shine for free. This is also where you'll find tons of blogs, and you get lots of other perks for being on my newsletter list. If you're looking for written horoscopes by me, always up a month early, you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. If you haven't seen this site, go to it. It is so beautiful. We've got, me and my team have lots of amazing astrology-inspired blogs and healthy living blogs. We've got hypnosis for all the signs. We've got healing frequencies for all the signs. I've got the written horoscopes that I write. We have yoga for all the signs. So it's just a very beautiful, comprehensive site. If you're looking for free courses on how to manifest money and wellness, you can go to lumelife.com, my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, LUMLIFE. You can also find my astrology education courses here, including my behemoth of a master course called Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course, which you can fully utilize even if you don't want to be a professional astrologer, but it certainly will get you up to the level where you could be and show you how to make your business a success. And payment plans are available there too. Now, I've also got 2 books out and more on the way. Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe. You will find this on the bookshelves in all major booksellers, including all the Books A Million, all the Barnes & Nobles. It's right there on the shelf. Plus, you can get it on Amazon and through any independent bookseller. And you can find Radical Prayer on Amazon, and you can order it anywhere as well. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.